Hi everybody, this is Linda. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Glad to be back and glad to see y'all. So pull up a chair. We're going to do a recipe that I got off the internet, and I love these cookies and I just have to tell you, I just love them. So they're called Louisiana pecan balls, but they're probably known, or pecan balls. They're probably known by a lot of different names. But this recipe, that's the name of it, Louisiana pecan balls. Now I've got 2 sticks, which is 1 cup of room temperature butter in this bowl already. And I've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract also, and a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And I'm going to mix these together. I hope. I don't ever know how to use this thing, honest to goodness. There we go. I'm going to get them mixed together thoroughly, and when I do, I'll bring you back because I don't want this video to be too long. Alright, now I'm not going to put this recipe down below, but this was 1 cup of room temperature butter, a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I beat that till it was, you know, a lighter color and kind of fluffy looking. And now I'm going to set this to the side, and over here in this smaller bowl I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and I mix that up so it would be, you know, well combined. And I'm going to add to that 1 cup of chopped pecans, I don't think I'm supposed to add those pecans now. I'm going to take out what I can. And I'm going to mix my flour into my butter mixture, and the pecans go in at the end simply because you don't want them all crushed up. And I'm going to mix this up, and then I am going to stir in the pecans, and then we'll be back. Alright, I got these all mixed up, and then just to be sure that they were mixed well, I got in there with my hands and I got it stirred around. And although the directions don't say to do this, I'm going to put this mixture in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and let it harden. Well, you know, get at a better consistency to roll into a ball. And then we'll be back. Alright. I've been chilling my mixture here, and I've got a 1-inch little scoop. And that's just easier for me, so I'm going to try to get you so you can see both. And see, it's hardened a bit, and I'm just going to use the side of the bowl to level it off. And you can either use, you can either lightly grease a 13 by 15 pan, or you can use parchment paper. And I chose to use parchment paper. Preheat your oven, if I haven't told you before, to 300 degrees. And these are going to cook or bake about, and they're not going to spread much. Remember, this is all-purpose flour. So it says to put them 1 inch apart, and that's about what I've done. And I'm going to finish loading this pan that you can't see. Let's see. There's my beginning here. And I'll bring you back. I'm going to take them out, put them in the finish loading the cookie sheet, put them in the 300-degree oven. They're going to cook about 25 minutes, but start checking them after 20 because they'll only be a light golden brown. And then I'll bring you back. Alright, I got my cookies out of the oven and I let them cool about 5 minutes. It says let them cool till they're cool enough to handle. And you see the bottom is just a very light brown. And the top you can barely tell that it's cooked, but it is. So when they're cool enough to handle, we're going to get down here and I'm going to roll it in this powdered sugar. I figure it's about 2 cups. And I'm putting them on a tray. You can see the tray over in the corner. And you're going to let them stay there till they're totally cool. Now, I used butter, and do not substitute. Margarine has too much water in it, and you'll end up with a sorry cookie, and you'll be writing me. I tried these, and they were awful. So, use butter, and I've told all of you before, I always use salted. Always. There is no reason to use unsalted butter unless sometimes, you know, with a Swedish cookie it calls justifiably for unsalted butter, but most of the time there's absolutely no reason to use unsalted butter. It's a waste of money, plus there's no preservatives in it. It goes bad quickly, whereas salted butter does not. So that's just my personal opinion right there. Do not use unsalted butter, although this recipe did not call for it. Now at the end of this video I'm going to read the recipe out to you just to be sure that you got it all and that I gave it correctly. I'll read it directly from my paper. I've got another dozen in the 300-degree oven, so it makes about 4 dozen cookies, and I was 1 shy of that. I got 47 cookies, and that's a lot of cookies for the ingredients that we used, I thought. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and read those directions to you. And then this is Sam's favorite cookie. Actually, it's mine too. So I'm going to try my best to hide some of them, because I'd like to give a dozen or so, or 2 maybe, as gifts. And if they're anywhere to be found, I mean, I have to find some good hiding places, because if they're anywhere to be found, they're gone. Sam just loves them. And be careful when you roll these, they're delicate. And another thing I meant to tell you is don't overmix them. Just once you get the butter and sugar and vanilla fluffy. No, it wasn't butter and sugar. What was it? Yeah, it was the powdered sugar and the vanilla. Once you get that fluffy and you add the flour and baking powder, not soda, before you add, well, I guess after you add the pecans, just mix until it's mixed. Don't keep mixing it, because it's going to make it tougher. And these are very delicate. They just melt in your mouth, really. Alright, the recipe is 1 cup, which is a half a pound, or two sticks of butter. Here, real butter, salted, at room temperature. 2 cups of powdered sugar, but you're only going to use a half a cup in with the butter. Okay, 2 cups of powdered sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and you mix that up till it's, you know how it gets a light fluffy color. That's how you're going to do it. Then in a separate small bowl, you're going to have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and you're going to mix that real well, and then add it to the butter mixture and get that thoroughly mixed, but not over mixed. Then add the 1 cup of chopped pecans, and then form them into 1-inch balls. Now if you don't have a little melon baller like I do, just use your hands, but I would still put them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes because it makes it so much easier to handle. Then alright, you put them on a baking sheet, lightly greased, or use a parchment paper, 300-degree oven for 25 minutes. Start checking after 20 because they're going to be a light golden brown, not brown like you would see a peanut butter cookie or a chocolate chip cookie. It's not going to be like that. They're going to be barely brown on the top, and the bottom they'll be just ever so lightly brown like you saw these. And you're going to get 48 cookies if you roll them into 1-inch balls and bake them. Now, I'm gonna round up Sam, and he's gonna try one of these cookies. I hate for him to, because that's the beginning of a disaster. It's the beginning of his love of sweets, and some more than others. And then we'll be back. Here we go, guys. I found him, and I have to give him 2 cookies because 1 won't be enough.
I doubt if 2 will.
See, he loves these cookies.
Yeah, they're delicious. I have had. It's been a long time since I've had them.
Yeah. Well, if you will hold on, don't try them till I get over there with the camera.
Well, this will be a great cookie to make around Christmas time, and
yeah.
Y'all love it.
Let me see if I can find him.
I don't see how anybody could.
Oh, there's his cookies. So he's around somewhere.
I'm the cookie monster.
Okay, Sam. Have at it.
That's it. Y'all won't believe how light these things are. They're just light and flaky with a delicious taste. It ought to be illegal to make something this good. But thankfully it's not. Anyway, folks, this is one of my, if not my favorite cookie. It's right there, but I believe it is my favorite.
I believe it is too. Well, all right, guys, that is it. Remember to let them sit on the tray. I let mine sit about 5 minutes till they were easy to handle, and then I took them off and rolled them in the powdered sugar. And then you set them to totally dry on a rack. So that is it. you all have a nice Christmas. I'll probably be back before then, but have a nice Christmas and New Year's. And I found out that the thumbs up is important. So y'all please give me a thumbs up when you watch the video, and don't forget. I didn't know it was that important. But I always ask you to give me one, but I found out it's important to get them. So give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and when you do, another bell will pop up to the right of it. Click on that bell, and then you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So
try these cookies.
So until next time, God bless all of you and take care.
That's it.